I'll be describing some of the identification characteristics, the life history, and the behavioral habits of the upland chorus frog. And this species' scientific name is Pseudacris ferriarum. The upland chorus frog is classified in the kingdom Animalia, the phylum Chordata, the class Amphibia, and the order Anura. They're also in the family Hylidae, and some of the other tree frogs and their relatives are found in this family. Some characteristics used to identify the upland chorus frog include their color, which varies from greenish gray, which you can see in the left picture, to brownish red, which is in the right picture. So the color does vary quite a bit, but we can use other characteristics such as the presence of 3 stripes running along their back. These stripes also vary by individual, so they may be broken up into streaks, as you can see in the left picture, partially striped or even spotted. But for the most part, you can make out these 3 stripes. And another distinct characteristic of the upland chorus frog is that they have a dark brown stripe that stretches from the front of the frog across their eye and down to the back of their body. Also, they may have dark patches of colors along their back and even a triangle between their eyes, as you can see in the right picture. It's an outline, a hollow outline of a triangle. Also, they have an upper lip that is visibly lighter, so they have this white line above their lip that can help with identification. And for their size, they can be anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to just over an inch long. And finally, the ventrum is often cream colored with some dark spots on it. The typical body structure of the upland frog, so like many of the other terrestrial species that we study this semester, they are tetrapods, so they have feet with digits and jointed limbs that help with motion. Also, to help with eating, the upland chorus frogs and other amphibians too have large muscular tongues and muscles used for chewing. They also use double circulation, and they have a 3-chambered heart, primitive lungs, and short trachea. Frogs are ectothermic, so they use the sun and other abiotic objects to warm themselves. The habitat and the distribution of the upland chorus frog, so they like to live in grassy areas, moist woodlands, river bottom swamps, and they oftentimes live near ponds, bogs, and marshes. And they like to take shelter under leaf litter, small logs, or tree bark that are found on the ground, or even in small animal burrows when the animals are out during the day. And for their distribution, as you can see in the first map, they expanded across a great portion of the eastern part of the United States, and specifically in North Carolina, they inhabit areas in the coastal plain as well as into the Piedmont, and even stretching into the mountain region where they have some scattered populations. Some of the behavioral characteristics of the upland chorus frog include their preference to hunt for a variety of small insects and spiders, especially during damp nights because they are a nocturnal species. These frogs become active in February, and then they begin to breed in late winter and into early spring. Males often sing in the water with their head and forelegs above the water while grasping a blade of grass or a plant stem, which you can see in this first picture. This frog is calling out while grabbing onto something in the water. And their call can be compared to the sound of a finger running along a comb, as you can hear here. And for their reproductive habits, the upland chorus frog is sexually mature after the first year, and their eggs are laid in large clumps of up to 1,000 eggs in ponds. Breeding usually occurs in temporary pools, low spots in crop fields, and in ditches, and you can see these clumps of eggs attached to vegetation in the water. Another interesting characteristic of the upland coarse frog is that they use sexual interference. This means that satellite males will sit quietly near calling males, and when females approach, they can also participate in mating. Thanks for listening.